Hello, and this is Brooke Smithson. Today I'll be presenting my senior thesis. Okay, first I'll get this PowerPoint pulled up so that I can explain it. So here is my dementia app, my problem and statement and justification. Every year there are nearly 10 million new cases of dementia worldwide, and yet there is quite a lot that most people don't seem to know about it. There are multiple websites that provide information on dementia. However, there are a wide range of options that may leave the user being overwhelmed. And it's also hard to know which one is reliable and which one provides crucial information. And because of that, I wanted to create something that would have all this knowledge of dementia all in one place, while also being easily accessible. So I wanted to, so that this, so I wanted to create an app so that people could know more about dementia before certain things got out of hand, so they could take better care of people who have dementia. Some current and past solutions. Some current solutions involve some other apps and/or websites, and I've listed some examples such as MindMate, helpguide.org, and alts.org. Some other past solutions would include books or guides that provide information, such as A Loving Approach to Dementia Care by Laura Wayman, Dealing with Dementia by Paige Cooper, and The 36-Hour Day by Nancy L. Mace and Peter V. Robbins. The consideration of design ideas and alternatives. So when I was considering how I was going to achieve putting all this information into an app, I had to figure out what program I needed to use so that I could build it properly. Some of my top options were MIT App Inventor, Code.org, and Android Studio. Out of these options, Code.org was the only one I was familiar with and had the fewest casualties compared to the others. So I thought this would be the most efficient way so that I could get it done quickly and efficiently. And here I have a chart of pros and cons of each one. When doing my prototype testing, since it was mostly information-based, I decided to conduct a survey involving statements that the participants would either agree or disagree with, such as strongly agree, agreed, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. As the data shows, I showed how many people selected certain statements, how many people agreed or disagreed with each statement that I asked. And I hypothesized that most of them would be positive. And keep in mind that my intended audience was not that of the students at our school, but the parents of the students, because I thought the adults would have a more familiar, would have been more exposed to people who have dementia and have dealt with it within their lives, while as students may not have. And so, even though I knew some of them might be fairly positive, I needed some negative responses so that I could get feedback on how to make it better. Because of that, I also added a suggestions or comments line where they can type whatever they want to say about the app, about their opinions, or if they disagreed with a certain statement, I wanted them to explain why. So that way I could further improve upon my app. And here is as the data shows. Now, the study group consisted of about 105 participants. So out of those, these are what the results were for each statement. The percentage of how many people chose the certain ones, which I color-coded, and the statement number, which is listed on the side. And here I have my prototype, which I will be sharing shortly. And here I have my prototype. Now, you may have noticed within the pros and cons part of my slide, that this app cannot be compatible with phone devices. It can only be used within the website itself. So this is the only current way that you can access said app is through the link. But without further ado, I shall explain some of its features and what information it holds. Now, right here we have the home screen, which is where you'll be directed to when you first open up the app. It says, "Welcome." It says this app was designed to inform dementia caretakers about the illness and how they should respond to it. So we have the purpose of the app being created. I also have a disclaimer saying that there is no cure for dementia, and I wanted that to be clear, being that this is not an app to help cure dementia since there is no cure for it, but to how to help along with it and make it easier. And also down here I have some instructions on how to use the app and navigate through it. So right here you just need to click through these buttons, and when you hover over them, some text will pop up here, as you can see, to label what the button does when you click on it and what it leads to. And therefore there are 6 options to choose from. And with this one, you could simply click to go to the next page, and here I have my works cited, which is all the websites I use to gain such information. And you cannot go forward past this point, so you can only go back between these two, on just the screen, of course. So next I will go to the info screen, which has facts about dementia. This explains what dementia is, what a few things about dementia, and then when you go to the next page, it shows some common misconceptions of dementia, things that most people tend to get confused with. Here I have them listed. On the next page, I have an image saying that there is a difference between Alzheimer's and dementia, and that shows a visual representation of it. Here I have some common types of dementia, since there are more than one. I list them and what they are considered as in a description. And I have all the symptoms for these dementia types listed later, but we'll get to that. And here I have another image that kind of describes how dementia is explained as a whole, since it is just not one type, but multiple types under the same umbrella, you could say. Next we have symptoms. I put a disclaimer here saying that all symptoms will not be the same for everything. I also put some warning signs, which are just for any or most types of the dementias, something to look out for. Here I have some symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, and some of them I named a description because there are no specific ones for it, since it could be a wide variety of certain symptoms. Symptoms for Lewy body dementia, vascular, frontotemporal dementia. There was quite a long list of them. And mixed dementia, and another one where symptoms may vary. Next we have treatments. Now, since a doctor should be the main prescriber of certain treatments, I give some treatments that you can do at home that are completely natural and not medical based. Like you could just simply play little games with them, help them exercise more, etc. Here's some commonly prescribed some, and I would advise that you don't do anything without a doctor's advice. Now for the locations page, this is one I created so that there's the location to some assisted living facilities, some nursing homes, address, phone number. There are 16 nearby in the Tennessee area. Now, some of these aren't organizations and other sorts. Now, this may not be completely clear, but you are allowed to click on said links, and this will pop up, but there's no need to worry. It will just simply take you to the Google Maps of the facility, so you could get more information on it. And back here, just some more. And then finally, tips. Some big tips on how a best way to communicate with people who have dementia. Some top things for there. And also I have a list of activities that you can do with people who have said dementia. Some little activities that you can do along with them. And it's an extensive list. All right. And last but not least, we can view the code. And here we have the app lab. I'll just do a quick scroll through. As you can see, a lot of work was put into this. Right, and we're heading towards the end here. And that's basically the coding aspect of it. And that's basically all the features of my app. Thank you for your time.